All right, so now we've gone through the day-to-day functionality. I'm going to switch over to the reporting and then the calendaring. All right, so let's first off, staff data entry report. So this is an important report here. This is, you're paying for the system. You want to make sure your staff's using it. You have a lot of filtering options. I'm just going to say, click on the last year, right? You can see here, you still have those filtering options. If I wanted to just see, hey, has Jen been entering her information? I can do that as well. But let's just choose the defaults here. The last year, you can see if we go down to, let's say, for instance, the medication log, which we're expecting our staff to enter every day, you can see here, okay, manager demo entered it. Maybe Jen's on vacation and John, that makes sense. But you can see Martin, Earl, they're not entering the information in the system. You may want to have a discussion with them. Same thing with progress notes. This is just a quick overview to see how many entries they've entered as well in that time period. All right, so now let's go into the treatment plan. So this is kind of like the granddaddy of all the reports. It pulls in over 30 different elements from all different forms in the system, and we're always adding to this. So what you want to do is click Create a Report, right? And let's choose we want to do a report for John Doe. Now you do have lots of options here if you want to just do it for the last 30 days, 90 days, etc. I'm going to use the custom option because this gives me the ability to go back a little bit further, especially with my demo account. I want to make sure I have lots of data to choose from. So let's go back. Actually, let's just go back a year. Maybe let's go to, it's October now. Let's go to October. We want to do John's annual report. So I click create a new report. And again, this is going to be a permanent report, a PDF document that's created. You don't have to go back and generate a new report and have unexpected information showing up, because this will be already generated and you can just share it with your auditors or anyone else that needs to have this information. All right, so you click name of the report. Let's just say John 2021, 2022 report. I'm just putting that. And you have options here. You can, have your staff sign it, resident. You can even have a parent guardian signature line that will print on the report so they can sign it as well. You can also add the review date and time. All right, and we can, so now if I click on this, you see here it says John's summary. So remember when we started, when we were entering John's information, there was a summary section where you can enter all that data about John. It pulls that information over onto this report, so you can actually make changes to it here, because maybe you want to make changes before you actually print it out. So that gives you this option, and then you have lots of reports options here. You can see here there are all kinds of options that you can select on this report. If I, let's say, only wanted to get maybe the goal information on this report, I could just simply select goals, right? But if I wanted to say, all right, you know what? Let's just, just because this is a demo, I want to show all these options. I can then just go and to that demo and just select everything. And you also see you have this option of page breaks. So let's say, for instance, I know that this thing always bleeds over into this, and I want it to be on a separate page after the physical characteristics and diet. I can just choose that, and then this will start off on a new page. All right. So let's go ahead down to, and let's go ahead and preview this. This is pulling over a year's worth of information for all of these different points here. So now we have gone ahead and generated John's yearly report, and now you'll be able to take a look at this and decide if this is the information that you want before you decide if you want to make this a permanent one. So I'm just making this a little bit bigger. So you see here you have John's just some agency information, the time frame of the report, diagnosis information, hobbies, address, emergency contacts, approved caseworker information, physical characteristics and diet, urgent issues and warnings, the high-level summary. This is where you type in all this information about John's goals, the performance of John's goals. So you can see here the numbers, but even better, you can see graphs. Green means good on our graphs. So you can see goals overall, we're having some problems here. And you can see the individual goals, how he's doing. And obviously, this is where John is struggling the most. He's not met this 92% of the time, which is basically just not trying to leave the day program. All right, again, that's just my example data, insurance information, budget and bank account. You can also see here behavior information, behavior totals. Again, this is for this time frame. You see John's had 36 AWOL attempts during this time frame. The behavior descriptions, as well as a detailed behavior report. So you can literally go to a specific day on a specific month. And because the reason why we're seeing all these months is because we chose a year. You can see here every single thing that John's done. You can see that lots of AWOL attempts on these specific dates. Also, you can see here anxiety on the 24th of September. You can see graphs related to these behaviors. And then we can go into specific behavior documentation days where you actually wrote in detailed documentation for those items, contact notes, behavioral health plan, interventions, my favorite section here. If we scroll down to here, you can see this is the behavior, this is the intervention, this is how many times it was successful, this is the number of times it was unsuccessful. So detailed information, your skills, you can see here, John's personal hygiene, comb his own hair. He's done this 38 times with no assistance. He's only needed verbal assistance once. He's struggling. He's needed full assistance here 34 times. He's only needed no assistance 4 times. So this is helpful information. You can see all the doctors and providers, doctor visits. I'm going to scroll through lots of doctor visit information, medications, all the details on the medications. And let's continue on. Let's see here, medical information, body assessment. These are some of the forms that we didn't cover. Calendar. You can see, I'm just scrolling through here. Activity logs, whether or not the activities were declined as well. You can see counseling sessions, visual safety checks, vital signs and weight, contact notes, daily food intake, lots of options, right? So you even have these activity codes where you can actually track time logging as well, and that can show up. So let's say, for instance, I'm good with this report. This is exactly what I needed here. I want to save this as a permanent report. I can click Save Report. This now becomes a permanent PDF document that you can always quickly get and refer to from John's record. So if I click Save Report, this is like creating this permanent report. Now we have this, and you can see here a list of all these permanent reports. This is the one I just created. And managers and admin will have the ability to approve these just so they can see, okay, this is the one that we want to use. And of course, you can just filter by the approved and not approved as well. If I ever want to get back to these created reports, I can click on reports. I can go back to treatment plan. And again, this treatment plan is the word that we decided to use. This is customizable in Edit Agency. So instead of me creating a report, I can simply click View Report. I can choose the resident. I can choose John Doe, and it will take me back to this page so I can see a list of these reports. Now, there are a number of other reports. You can see activity log report, agency checklist report. I'll just point out a couple of more that may be important. One is, for instance, a resident reference sheet. If you're going to a doctor, you don't want to go through and pull out this 10-page document regarding the treatment plan. You just want something quick that you can grab for the doctor. And maybe you depends, maybe it's a counseling session, so you don't need the medications. You can uncheck that. And it'll just pull, just key information from John's record, and you have that just quickly in a like a compact printable document that you can have available, for whatever that appointment is. All right. So that's the resident reference sheet. There are a number of other reports. There are billing reports. There are inventory lists, and these are all related to some of the features that we've added as well.